Hearing the words is faithful, it felt like a voice whispering, I haven't left you, even when you can't feel me, because he's always there. He's always around us.
Can't see grace for what it is until you need it most. God feels so close to us in those moments.
The third hour is here. Holy Spirit appear. Guide us in all
Kind of, to me, proves like that God has knitted us together, like to glorify Him. Literally, with every breath that we take, even without us knowing it, we are glorifying God.
And glorify the risen Lord and King.
You want to have a closer relationship with Jesus, trying to be the best person you can be each and every day. That glorifies Him.
Holy Spirit, do your thing. We might not know how, but we ain't gonna feel.
Like, that is God sending us. That is how He feels for us. That is how He cares for us.
Move us today, Holy Spirit, come and fill this place. Move us today, Holy Spirit, come and fill this place.
Hey guys, before we get into this episode, I just wanted to let you know that if you want to check out any of the songs that we talk about today, the new Christian music songs for the week, or our hidden gems, as well as the Winter Jam 26 preview, go over to the Third Hour collection on Spotify, and the new songs will be updated weekly every Friday. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Third Hour. This is a Christmas special we have for you guys today. We're going to have a discussion about some Christmas music amongst us and family. And we're also going to weave in some Christmas music here and there throughout the episode. This is just our little special, first annual Christmas special that we're going to do. We're going to kind of throw this over to some of the kids and our kids and let them talk about some of their favorite memories, some of their favorite songs, favorite things about Christmas, and we'll build off of that, and we'll each, as we go throughout the episode, share things for us as well as touch us within music and just memories too.
So, in doing an interview with our family, that means we got to bring our family on. So we each have some of our kids here, or maybe all of our kids, depending on the family. We also have this young lady over here in the corner that nobody's ever seen before on the podcast. This is my beautiful wife, Nia, and she's joining, and we've been trying to get her to join, and maybe this is the first step of meeting. I don't know. But she's kind of adverse to the limelight.
I'm more quiet than Shawn.
Sing your loud.
Yes. But on the end there is my wonderful little boy, Noah, and then we have Ella and Mason, who are Rusty and Mariah's son and daughter. And we have Braxton, who's Cameron's son. Cameron, you want to ask your first question?
So I want to ask the first question, and y'all just kind of, whoever wants to answer, y'all can just do it together, however you want to do it. But this year, we're, approaching Christmas. What are you most excited for this year, Christmas?
Opening the present.
Opening the presents.
And Jesus' birthday.
And Jesus' birthday.
That's my answer.
I'm also excited for my mom, my dad, my sister, and my nene to open their presents. I got them.
Yeah. So during Christmas time, what is your favorite Christmas song during the holidays?
God's head on a mountain.
Oh,
Listen, have toes on together.
okay.
Okay.
We chose Christmas rock.
Oh,
Love
Christmas
that one.
is
That's a new
song.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, fits right in with the podcast.
Can I say what, it makes us feel like what it's...
Yes, for
go ahead.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christmas is like when it sings, when he sings, what it's like to me is like he's saying that like they've put Christmas and not like they made it all about the gifts and not Jesus or the Lord. They've put like more stuff other than it than them.
That's really good.
Yeah. It's good. So, do you guys have any favorite Christmas memories or a Christmas tradition?
out to pick ornaments every year.
Picking ornaments,
Oh,
that's fun.
I just did this yesterday.
What'd you pick out?
I picked up a basketball hoop it had on the ball.
Yeah. Mason, do you have any favorite Christmas memories or traditions? It's that snack that we make at Christmas.
So,
The candy.
yeah, the candy cranberries.
Yeah, they
I
love
really like
candy
those.
cranberries.
Candy
That's
cranberries.
fun.
I ate half of them and he eats half.
Yeah.
Gingerbread house.
Yes.
After 8,
Okay.
having sleepover with my Mimi and Bubba, and opening presents with my family and my friends.
Yes.
Being at school with the people that I love.
Yeah. Yeah. Christmas parties at school is always the best time.
And we get to wear PJs, and we get to bring a blanket, and we get to and we get to bring a squishmallow. It don't have to be squishmallow. It could be any type.
Cool.
Then we cook breakfast, and we could wear pajamas.
One year, the elves spilled cereal. They were trying to make cereal, and they spilled cereal all over the oven. They left a note, but I can't remember what it said. And then there was where like the elves were writing our like dog statues. We have like dog statues of our like dogs, and they were like on top of it.
Oh my goodness.
And we usually play board games on like Christmas and everything, on New Year's or stuff. And every year we pick out a ornament. So
Cool.
Wow.
You guys have some mischievous elves too. Huh?
yeah.
I know.
One also, the start of this Christmas, my sister likes to do makeup for a long time, and I like to game for a long time. So my elf, it was on like my gaming setup, and her elf was on her makeup thing.
Got some Uno cards, and it picked out 6 and 7.
Yeah.
It's just like a place of 7. And it took my sister's stuffed animals, and the elf put 6 and 7 cards. Hey, he else didn't do nothing for us on Saturday or Sunday.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good
I was saying that she accidentally touched one, so
Oh,
it usually takes a couple days for them to build their powers back up, right? So,
or did you cut them out?
no.
Dun 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 dun.
So moving on. I think Mason's the only one that hasn't started to answer a question yet, so I'll ask you
Yeah,
first.
Mason, answer
I'll put you on the spotlight. What does Christmas mean to you? To go next.
Friends, my family, and Jesus' birthday.
Spending time with my family, Jesus' birthday, opening presents, giving me presents.
I can't believe none of y'all said being off from school.
Oh! Yeah, I said that.
Being off of school, being off of school.
Yeah.
School drill.
I am getting pretty old.
I have good memories.
What do you enjoy like every year? I know we already asked what you're most excited for, but we're asking what it means to you. So every year when we say Christmas is coming up, what's that mean to you?
Getting ready for the holidays and getting ready to celebrate Jesus' birthday.
Well, thank you guys. Y'all done a wonderful job, I thought. Y'all didn't just like say one thing and stop. Y'all had a lot of different answers.
Yeah.
Used a lot of thought behind it. And it makes me excited. Like, I'm more excited for Christmas, like listening to you guys and the joy that you have for it. And the cool thing is that all of you all said that it's Jesus' birthday. And so I feel like when you go into school, you are probably having those conversations with your friends and stuff too. Because some of them might not know that it's Jesus' birthday, or maybe they forgot about it. And so that gives you all an opportunity to kind of tell them and remind them, right?
And even we might
Oh,
have forgot too.
I got another Christmas memory. I
Go
just
ahead.
thought of it. One Christmas memory, it was like close to New Year's, and we invited some of our friends over, and we played like tons of board games and everything. And I stayed up till like 3 o'clock, and I went to bed, and as soon as I lay down, I just passed out.
Yeah, I bet you was tired. Yeah, that's awesome.
That was fun.
Okay,
So just to close up this segment, we're gonna, weave in some music that we have from our good buddy Justin. So we'll go ahead and we'll have that playing now, and then we'll go into a deeper discussion period here in a second.
With this Christmas wishes missed the point I could finding me in the exact same place as a New Year's Eve, and from a lack of my persistency, well, it's not as close as I wanna be. And the first time that you opened your eyes, did you realize that you would be my savior in the first breath that left your lips? Did you know that it would change this world forever? And the first time that you opened your eyes, did you realize that you would be my savior? And the first breath that left your lips, did you know that it would change this world forever? And so this Christmas I'll compare the things I felt in prior years to what this midnight made so clear. But you have come to meet me here. To look back, think that this baby will one day save me. The hope that you gave, you were born so I might believe. To look back, think that this baby will one day save me. And the first time that you opened your eyes, did you realize that you would be my savior? In the first breath that left your lips, did you know that it would change this world forever? And the first time that you opened your eyes, did you realize that you would be my savior? And the first breath that left your lips, did you know that it would change this world forever? And I celebrate the day that you were born to die, so I could one day pray for you to save my life. Pray for you to save my life. Pray for you to save my life.
So, guys, we're back again, and what a blessing it was to hear the kids talk about some of their favorite memories, some of their songs that they enjoyed. It was just a fun little thing. I know we don't get to do that all the time on here. You know, I know for them, for us, we enjoy doing this, and we know it's like on camera. I think for us, it's like more nervous, I think, at times, or for me anyway. But to them, it's like, man, we're on TV. Like, we're celebrities now. Like, it's really cool, the recording aspect of it, but the things that they shared, and you all feel free to like chime in too. But for me, what stuck out to me is like there's a lot of things that I feel like they don't see or appreciate. I don't want to say appreciate. Like mine, like he's appreciative of things. I know that. There's things that I don't. I think that I think, oh, he thinks about presents. He thinks about that stuff. But there's actually memories that we were making with them and the traditions and stuff that we do that they are picking up on. It's not just the games that they get or the toys that they get, but they're remembering things that we do with them every year. And I didn't prep like Braxton like say this or that. And so it was cool to see that, I thought.
I agree. And it was really warmed my heart to hear. Like Mason this morning when we were talking about the song that he picked, which was Christmas by Forrest Frank, he did that all, and those were his words. There was us not coaxing. So I thought it was really nice to know, like, yeah, he likes these other things, but he knows what we know is the true meaning of Christmas. I thought that was cool to hear what he said about that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And you could tell, like, I don't know, like when he was talking, that it really came from like his heart. It was making me a little emotional, like listening to him talk about it.
Yeah.
And then just, I know we're talking about like y'all's board games and stuff like that. I think of mine and I'm like, do they even enjoy board games anymore?
Yeah, so I was thinking about that too. And I knew Noah out of the gate I know how he is with his presents and stuff. So I knew that was going to be a big one. But for him to be like, man, I really like playing the board games and things we do. Cause it's almost, it's like, okay, stop doing what you're doing and come in here and play. I told you, we're going to play these games now, The fact that they actually get into it, and that's a memory of his that he, likes doing and stuff. You put a smile on me, and so that made me feel good.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing. And it is nice to know that it's not just like the presents and stuff. Like they all mention Jesus' birthday, right? And so I thought that was beautiful. It gives you like a good kickoff to the episode, because at Christmas I think it's a time of joy, and hearing them speak and hearing them talk about it, and laughing with each other, recounting memories in their own age in the life that they've lived so far. It was just very joyful. Like that's how I would sum that up. We'll transition from that into the discussion we're going to have today. And on one hand, a Christian music podcast. We like to introduce the music element into the episodes, as well as we have obviously like conversations of faith and bridging them together at times. What we're going to do is kind of bounce around some Christmas songs that we like. Some of them probably super popular. Some of them maybe we haven't heard. Kind of share why we like it, what it means to us. If we have any memories that we want to attach to it, that's fine too. We'll just kind of bounce that around and see where the conversation takes us. And just like you already heard from Justin, one of his songs already, we'll still weave a few of those in between, because this is like a special episode for us. This isn't necessarily on schedule like with what we do every week. This is a Christmas special. Like this is something different. And this is the week of Christmas, so it is something that it's our little gift to put out there, and hope that the conversations we have will bless you guys. I know it'll bless us. Anytime that we get together and we're able to bounce things off each other, I grow from it. I know for me personally. So with that being said, let's kick it off and we'll start talking about some Christmas songs. I'll kick it over to Mariah. Get started.
So I think that this is one that Rusty and I both can agree on, and that is Go Tell It on the Mountain. All versions are good, but I don't know. There's something special about Crowder and Ricky Skaggs' version. Yes. It is so good. I know that first time I heard it was in Christmas play that our kids did. At a church that we were going to for several years. Every single year, this was the song the kids wanted to sing, and they would belt it at the top of their lungs. So I love that song.
Yeah, there's just something about the sound of that song. It kind of, it brings me back to, taught like my grandmother's church in a way, and it just kind of gives me like a little bit of it kind of takes me back. In a way.
Reminiscent.
Yeah, reminiscent. And, I've never been a huge bluegrass fan, but there's just something about the banjos in that song. It just kind of like, it just goes perfectly well.
Yeah, it does.
I've never heard that song. And the fact that you mentioned Ricky Skaggs and banjos.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that I haven't heard it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? So that's one that I'm going to be listening to once we're done here, because that sounds right up my alley.
And Crowder,
and I love Crowder too.
I love that. And Crowder's voice with Ricky's, like they both have very distinct voices, so it's cool how it blends together. I think, and it is a song that's very popular, and so there has been like many versions of it out there, like you had mentioned, but that one sticks out to me as well because of. Those two voices are just so distinct in themselves. Then you pair them together. I'd love to have been in the room them recording that.
They probably will release some videos. Is this? Well, you said it's been out for a while.
It's been out for several years now. Yeah.
Maybe not then, but I was going to say they probably have it recorded somewhere. It's going to release it for something.
Well, there might be a video version of it, maybe out there. I haven't really
maybe picking the banjo and.
Yeah, man, that would be. We need to have a session at some point with someone that can even do some like bluegrass side of things or whatever, and have them.
Yeah, well, let's find us one.
Yeah.
My cousin does mandolin, guitar. Yeah. I don't think he does banjo, but I have my papa love banjo, and I've wanted to learn for years.
That'd be awesome. I think it'd be cool because every blend of music, right? As long as I think the ones that can glorify God. It doesn't matter. We talk about rap all the time because that's what we single out, right? Because that just seems to be the one that gets ostracized for the hard rock. But in the same aspect, like bluegrass and stuff too, like if there's something that comes up that we hear we like, I would love to share it on here. But even just if we have like these periods of time where we play or allow people to come on here and do songs and stuff, if we found somebody that could do that as well, that would be
great.
Cool.
That would be a cool jam session.
Yeah, he's like Southern gospel too.
I heard Mariah's going to learn the banjo to be
Well, we got that. You got the guitar. Rusty can sing, and I can knee slap or something. So,
Me sing.
Spoons.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get some spoons.
yeah,
That's
knock them together.
So
That's perfect. Perfect.
I was my wife actually bought me, so spoons are like spoons, right? But she found a father and son who makes these wooden spoons that are attached
Oh,
so
wow.
that you play 'em, and she actually got them for me. First thing I did is I threw on some bluegrass and I went to town. She teased me. She said, "You gonna take that up with the praise and worship team?" I was
Yeah.
like, "I need to."
You guys are so
That's
talented. You
good.
could weave it in there.
You
can
could.
Yeah.
People would be like, that was so cool.
Yeah, it's great. Really, it was like Sean. I was having a blast. And that song too, like, Go Tell It on the Mountain. I like the words in it. I mean, I just think it's like a very joyful song. Like, it's really like spread the message, right? Like in other words. And you mentioned Ella and them, like your kids like it too.
Yes.
And so that's cool in the sense that I know with mine, I don't know they would listen to bluegrass, and it isn't all bluegrass. Has bluegrass elements into it,
Mhm.
but the fact that they like that and stuff too, I think that's really cool. I don't know if
I'm
grass is
gonna divert the conversation for a minute.
Go right ahead.
How are y'all from Buchanan County and not like a bluegrass?
I'm not saying I don't like bluegrass. I'm saying
He
that
does
my
not like
kids,
bluegrass.
he don't like bluegrass. I don't mind it. I can't sit here and
That's
say
the big difference between don't mind and
Okay,
liking
let me say this. I like it, but I can't sit here and tell you like a bunch of artists. I say like Ralph Stanley and some of them, right? And those are good. I
And
enjoy
you don't actively have like any bluegrass songs on your Spotify list, do you?
I have some. Yeah, I can't
Rusty
tell you
does
on the top of my
Rusty, you have
head,
any?
but
Rusty is not.
yeah.
Listen, my family is bluegrass. Like my papa picked for years and everything, and he doesn't pick anymore. My cousin's wife, she kind of said it in a good way, and Rusty like says this as well. He can't sit in the car and listen to it, but like live is much better.
I can listen
Yeah.
to it if people are picking and
Yeah.
singing, but I'm not getting into a car.
Oh, dude, I can.
Yeah.
I agree with you that hearing it live is amazing, but
Yeah.
I can totally put on some Marty Raybon or Larry Sparks or somebody in the car and jam. My daughter, it's a Marty Raybon song. Marty Raybon, y'all know Shenandoah? Did you ever hear Shenandoah?
Yeah, I
He's
saw
the
him in
lead
the
singer
Grand Ole
for.
Opry. We both did.
He's the lead singer for them, but he's got his roots are bluegrass, and he's put out several bluegrass albums in the past. And he's got this song that me and Jordan used to sing, my daughter Jordan, when she was little. It's called Down the Road. It's just about down the road. He's got this little brown-eyed girl that's
Yeah, I love that song.
Do you know that song?
No, I don't know. I've not heard this guy's version that you're talking about, but I've heard, or it might be him. I heard King Chesney do it.
Has he
With
done it?
does he do it with the guy that you're talking about?
I'm gonna have to. I wonder if it's not a newer song down the road because this is pretty old school bluegrass.
Well, this is like probably 15 years ago.
It might be the same
Kenny
one.
did it.
Kenny did it with somebody that had bluegrass roots, but it's the same guy.
I'll have to go listen to see if it's the same song or not. But she loved it, and I got to. Now Noah don't really care for bluegrass, and that hurts me. He can listen to it, and he can pick out the instruments because I would do that with him.
Yeah.
We'd listen to the song, and I'd be like, "All right, what's that?" And he would, they would say mandolin or banjo. I trained him to hear what instrument was picking the lead at the time and stuff. He don't really care for it, but Jordan likes it, and she used to flatfoot all the time. It's a cute little thing at the little festivals and stuff we'd go to and things. But she likes it, even though she's moved on to other things. There's other genres of music that she prefers now.
Yeah.
But I'm just shocked y'all being from Buchanan County. Neither one of them. That's not like a first love. Like that's supposed to be a
it's
first
Right.
not
love.
a first love. I
Buchanan
like it,
County or
but
Dickinson County. That's
Yes.
supposed to be.
Right,
See,
right.
I don't think I found out until after we were married and stuff that he didn't like it. I was like, I feel like this is a conversation and we would have had.
All right. So the first one I want to talk about, and this is one of my favorite Christmas songs ever, and it's one that just came out last year, and it's one that really just never got any traction for whatever reason, and maybe it's just like, we talk about it quite often on podcasts, like sometimes the song will speak to you in a certain way, but it may not speak to everybody else in that same way. But it's called Hope Begins by Sanctus Real and Sarah Kroger, I think is how you say her name. Kroger, I think it's Kroger. But anyway, just to read just a little bit about, or read some of the lyrics from the song, it paints this picture of understanding that sometimes we see the nativity scene at church, right, or out somewhere, and we see it as just being this beautiful scene, and it is a beautiful period in time as far as like Jesus coming into the world. But if we were really there experiencing the things that they experienced, it wasn't necessarily a beautiful, it was hard, is what I'm trying to say. It was not easy doing what Mary and Joseph and dealing with all of that and the manger. And, I think we think of it like the animals just sat around like smiling themselves. And the baby just laid there peacefully in the manger, and the hay was just perfectly fixed up. And it probably was not like that. It was hard. And so it just it talks about that and kind of paints that image. And some of the words says, there was no silent night, nothing peaceful about that Christmas day. There in the stable, through the sweat and through the fear, in the hurting and the tears, he came and he was able. And I love that image that it paints, because sometimes you mentioned this morning, brokenness and stuff. Sometimes I think we think about the situation we're in and think even the brokenness that we have, that God can't come into that, in the span of just human history. He came in a time, in a moment to where that it wasn't perfect. It wasn't as you would think. If you was to prepare an arrival for the King of Kings, you probably wouldn't have picked for him to come in a manger, right? And probably they probably didn't have a whole lot of food. They probably didn't smell the best. And it's just, to me, I think sometimes we don't think about that side of things, and how God just kind of humbled himself and just put himself down into a place where, as humans, we had God's his favor was always over them. But to think that he came and was in the form of a baby for a while, it just, I don't know. Brandon talked about it one time, being dependent on humans in that time. It just, I don't know, it blows my mind. I don't know how to put it into words.
There's a newer song that is called Manger Throne that we're doing for the church choir and stuff. And it has a line in there that he didn't come in majesty, but he came very humbly into this, into this manger, and it's just like what you said, it's not how you would think a king would come.
No.
So why would we grandize it and make it? Because that's what we did in a lot of ways with the manger scene, and we make it seem storybook safe.
Right.
Storybook
Yeah.
safe, and it's not. Maybe that would mean more if we
Realize how hard.
Yeah, and did it as such to to everybody, kids included and stuff. It's like, hey, man, the Savior of the world came into this life, and it wasn't a pleasant life that he came into.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a time when Mary thought that there was nowhere for her to go. She didn't know where she was going to be giving birth to this baby.
Yeah.
And I know whenever I had my kids, it was a planned out thing for months ahead. I knew I was going to have these babies here, in this way. And Mary had no idea if she was even going to have space to give birth. What's that movie? Was it that we watched last year? That kind of talks about there was a purpose to of course, the King of the world being born in a stable or in a manger with animals around. They all had a purpose. It was orchestrated by God perfectly, because it was the king was looking for babies born at that time, right? Because he had heard that the King of the world had come. So, God just made this provision for, maybe he had, in this movie, it was depicted as dogs looking for babies and stuff like that, going back to the hometown, and the animals covered up the smells and, all that. It's just crazy to think of how beautifully orchestrated. I mean, it's not beautiful, but it is how perfectly orchestrated it was.
Star, that's the movie.
Star, that's it.
Yeah, Bo
That's
likes
it.
it too. It's on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is. Yeah, I mean the plan. It wasn't just there was a plan, a reason why
Right.
that it was a manger and the things that happened, like you had said. And just to kind of close it up on that song, it draws a connection between how sometimes we don't see the arrival as hard as what it was, in the same way as sometimes we don't see how bad the sacrifice was. And it has this line that says, "So if you're broken down and beaten on the floor, just remember you're the one he came here for." Where your hope begins. In the hardship where you're broken, this is where your hope begins. When you're weary, your prayer's unspoken. And then it goes into that part right of painting the picture. And it says, the picture in the book had him smiling with a halo on his head, his eyes up to the skies, a light was shining down on him. But if we could really see how he looked upon that tree, the nails driven through his hands, in the middle of the storm, his body wrecked sometimes it's hard for us to understand. and then it goes into the chorus saying, "This is where our hope begins." And I love that connection that it came, but for me, it just, I think it was like an accountability thing for myself. I was like, I really sometimes don't, I get complacent, I think, and I don't really think about how hard that was and how bad that was and the sacrifice as well. But that's a song for me that is not that well known. Like I said, go out and check it out if y'all enjoy it. Shawn, we'll bounce it over to you. What's the Christmas song that you enjoy?
Mine's which is my Christian Christmas, and I know that's terrible to say that, right?
What you do?
But because my two favorite songs, one of them is heavily about Jesus, and the other one is just, I feel like it's a classic Christmas, like just it puts me in the mood for Christmas. You know what I mean? I could hear it any time of the year and be like, man, I wish it was Christmas. My Christian Christmas song is Mary, Did You Know? Flowery wrote that song, and what a lot of people don't know is, like, he's done a lot with the Gaithers and stuff over the year, but he's like a Christian comedian. And that song is like so powerful. The words behind that, and like my favorite part of it is like, he's like, did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod, and when you kiss your little baby, you kiss the face of God. And it's like, legit, that's what Mary did. It's like she had God in the flesh. She raised him. She nurtured him. It's like, oh my gosh, man, like that's just amazing to think about that. And the how, they said, Mary truly was blessed of all women, and she was. How amazing was that, to be the vessel that brought God into the world, and not just brought him into the world, but took care of him and raised him. It's like, it just blows my mind. But I love that song. That is such an amazing, powerful song. I don't think you could, and so many different people has done it. It's, and about every version of it is great. And so, that's my favorite. That's probably, yeah.
That's I know Kels, I hadn't even addressed this yet. Kels isn't here for this episode. Youngest one's not feeling well. But that is her favorite song as well. And I love just, you talking about the lyrics to it. That whole line where, he's walked where angels have walked. And I think about myself, and he was a baby. And like, you look at him like this is the start of his life. And you go through all the things you think about, how you're going to teach him this, teach him that. And not to say that, yes, Mary was still going to teach him certain things as he got older, but there was that element too that, she had to sit there and think, like, this child has been where God is, or, he has been where angels walk. He is, like you said, kissing the face of God. Like, there's a whole other layer to, because when I think of, like, mine, like, he's just a new life. Like, he's just, like, he's coming into this world and everything's starting fresh. Like, he's just new, like new to everything, but that's not all true in that sense. It's amazing to think about. And imagine the pressure, like knowing that you had to raise the savior of the world.
Yeah.
Right.
And there was things that happened, with them having to go to certain places to avoid trouble. I can't imagine. I know that, they had that confidence behind them, knowing that's part of God's plan, but there still had to be some fear, I'm sure.
No doubt.
Can't imagine.
I mean, she couldn't have possibly even known everything that was gonna happen. She had no idea.
In a way, too, that that's her child, in the sense that you still have, like, as being parents, like, we know that early infancy, like, period is like so scary. Like, with having, like,
First
keeping
child,
from being
think about
sick.
that.
Yeah, and the
child.
first child, and being young too, like, and so, and I'm sure during that time, I'm sure there's a lot of children that probably didn't make it, just because of natural causes. And to think that, like, this is the savior of the world, I would be hyper fixating on everything. Like, don't cough around him, please. Do you know who he is? Man, but yeah, it's just, that's beautiful. And I think that song is just amazing. What's another one you guys have? You got another one, baby?
Go ahead, baby.
Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas is probably my second favorite Christmas song. There's just something about that song. I can listen to that song in the heat of July, and then, like, it instantly takes me to Home Alone, and then, and it's just like instantly, I was like, oh man, like, kind of like, who Shawn said, I wish it was Christmas. It just gives you that Christmas spirit. Yeah, the good feeling.
So it's like,
And there's songs like that too. Like, you think of, like, Go Tell It on the Mountain or, like, Joy to the World. Like, as followers across, like, we can listen to those probably like any time of the year, and we could still like draw. We don't have to listen to them just in Christmas,
Yeah.
but like those songs, like when you hear them, they're
Oh,
specifically made for that time.
And that's what it reminds you of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's like that season. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I like that. And as a just a off thing from the music, so is Home Alone your favorite Christmas movie?
It's top 3.
Top 3.
Top 3.
Is
I don't have a
1, 2, and
single-
3 like the top 3 of Home Alone? Is that your top 3 movies? Christmas movies?
Well, the Home Alone movies?
Yeah, is your top 3 just 1 through 3 of Home Alone?
No. Christmas Vacation, Home Alone, and then let's see.
Elf.
I think maybe Home Alone 2. I actually think Home Alone 2 is better than the first one. That's a hot take. I think I'm gonna give that. I think Home Alone 2 would be my first, or no, Christmas Vacation would be 1, and then Home Alone 2, and then Home Alone.
So I got a hot take, and especially pertaining to like one of your movies. I do not like Christmas Vacation. I think it is the most overrated Christmas movie. I hadn't even watched it until me and Chelsea met.
did you see his face?
I know. Just not a big Christmas Vacation fan. I don't know.
I just say the way I feel about bluegrass is probably how he feels about being your best friend for all these years and not knowing that you didn't like
Yeah.
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
When you said that, I literally wanted to be like, "You're being serious, Clark."
That's the dirtiest.
Chelsea wants to watch that every Christmas, and I'm like, eh.
And then when the old lady says
Yeah.
the prayer,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
Evangeline. Like, it's just so good. The movie's just so fun. I don't know how you don't like that. It's such
No,
good
not a
movie.
big fan. I like the Christmas Story.
Every story?
Maybe you was talking about that the other day.
Or
I saw that on
Yeah.
Amazon. It's just on HBO Max.
Yeah, that's what you was talking about.
I've watched the Christmas Story, but I've never watched the Christmas Story.
a Christmas story. What did I say? I know. I don't think
Christmas
I-
Story Christmas.
a Christmas story. Christmas.
Yeah, because you said there was 3 of them actually that they made a
They
set.
made an actual Christmas
Yeah.
story too.
Daniel
It's
Stern.
terrible.
It's
It's
not.
not like it. This
Yeah.
one has the people that was the kids
Yeah.
as adults.
Is it good?
Oh, it's so good. It's one of those ones I can't think of like, is it better than the first? It's right there. But I will say I never audibly like hee-hawed laugh at the first one.
Yeah.
There's a moment in this movie where I like busted out laughing when something, I don't want to give it away, but there's some
Yeah.
stuff that happens and I'm like, bah! And it's like it was that good in certain parts of it.
Yeah.
And, there's like any movie, there's a few lulls and stuff, but like I said, it's right there. I don't know if it's better, but it's definitely right on. Yeah, I'm gonna change my thought. I'm gonna say it is better than the first one because my wife hates the first one. Nia
Nice.
hates the first
Yeah.
Christmas story,
Yeah.
and she likes the Christmas story Christmas.
Yeah.
She thinks that that's a good one. What you're shaking your head? Yeah, do you not like Christmas story the first one?
I think I'm kind of like Cam with the Christmas Vacation. I kind of think it's a little overrated.
I did.
Yeah.
The 24-hour marathon.
They kind of.
That was a
I don't know. I kind of always like that because anytime you go turn it on, you
Yeah.
know,
That was a Christmas tradition for
for
my
TNT for a
family.
while.
Yeah.
My dad, same for him.
Yeah, my grandfather would watch that every Christmas. He's like, that has to be on, like while we do Christmas.
Jingle All the Way. Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yeah.
and Sinbad. That is
No, I'd say
that is
that.
one of my favorites.
I've never
So
seen that.
I have a that is the first date that me and Neil was ever on. That's how old we are.
Wow,
Was- yeah,
that's cool.
that was a good movie.
connection there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That is a good
Yeah.
movie. That's not my top 5. My top 5. So Home Alone 1 and 2 used to be right
Yeah.
there. That was the top 2.
Yeah.
It has been surpassed by Elf. We decided last year that movie is so good, and the fact that we can quote so many things
Yes,
from
Elf.
it. And then you find out like Easter eggs and stuff in it that just makes him funny. You know the part where like he's walking up the street and interacting with different people and stuff?
Yeah.
When he runs into that dude that's with the white beard and all red,
Yeah.
that was not playing. Like that wasn't
That was
scripted.
his
That
real
was a
reaction.
dude
Yeah.
that was walking up the
Yeah.
street looking like Santa Claus, and he just interacted with him. They went to different places and jumped out and filmed scenes and stuff
Wow.
of him interacting and doing different things, like when he's spinning around in the
Yeah.
the store
Yeah,
door,
he's-
you know,
yeah.
running around and stuff like. So, like, I don't know, that movie's just hilarious. It's 1, Home
It's-
Alone's 2 and 3, and then I've got
Christmas Vacation.
Christmas
Vacation.
Vacation, and then Wonderful Life. Love A Wonderful Life.
That's
You've
it.
never seen A Wonderful Life? Oh my gosh, it's a classic. Y'all gotta go watch that.
I always see
Yeah.
it on or see it, and people talk about it and how it's a classic, but I've never watched it.
Sat down one night after you put Ellen and them to bed,
Yeah.
y'all, and you watch it together. Like, it's such a touching one, and it's
Is that your
it's
favorite? Like your
it's
number
in the
one?
top 5. No, my favorite's Elf. It's probably number 5. And then when you get into the other really good ones of the year and stuff, but yeah, it's so Christmas Stories. It's probably
Yeah.
6 and 7. That's it right
Yeah.
there. But yeah, it's just a good one, and it's about having purpose in life, and I can't believe I ain't watched
I
that.
haven't watched it.
The new Grinch is really good too.
Yeah.
If y'all not
Yeah.
watched
The cartoon one?
the cartoon,
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that. That was a good
The
one.
old Grinch ain't bad.
I thought they were all
Yeah.
I'm not a huge, and I know there's a lot of people that really love the Grinch, but it's not one of my favorites. I was afraid of it when I was a kid. I was afraid of the Grinch. I think that's,
The
Little
funny
trauma.
thing is, you talking about like those scenes being like actual, like Will Ferrell being in New York doing them and getting the natural reaction. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, in New York, you see a lot of crazy things. It probably wasn't that crazy, because the guy's reaction, he just shrugs him off and keeps going. So it probably wasn't that crazy to see
Yeah.
out there, but it is cool how it was all just impromptu, like doing it.
Yeah.
So that was awesome.
Mariah, what was yours?
my favorite movies. So you have to put in Home Alone. And I know that those are around Christmas, based around Christmas, but to me, that's just like a winter movie. Like I can watch it all winter long.
Yeah.
So I think that those to me are a little bit more of just winter movies than Christmas movies. But the Santa Claus with
Oh,
Tim
That was, I was
Allen-
sitting there trying, I knew there was one I wasn't thinking
Yes.
about, but it was on the tip of my
The-
tongue. That was it.
The
Yeah.
original.
the first one is the best one. The second one's pretty good too. But I love Elf. I love the Santa Claus. I'm gonna throw in another classic cartoon, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, classic.
Die Hard.
I do love Die Hard. I'm kind of on that side of it that I'm just not sure that I consider that a
a
Christmas
Christmas
movie.
movie.
There's a
Not,
huge
but-
argument.
There's a Christmas tree in it,
But
if
guess
I'm not
what?
mistaken.
Guess
I
what?
think
It
that
takes
qualifies.
place during
During
Christmas.
Yeah.
And guess what? Die Hard 2 is also a Christmas.
And actually, Rusty and I, we watched them on Christmas Eve and Christmas. The first time we watched all of them was on Christmas Eve and Christmas a couple of years ago.
Kudos to you. Like, I think if I would have introduced that to Chelsea, like, let's watch Die Hard this Christmas. I know how that would go.
Yeah.
So, she's not a big Die Hard fan.
Yeah.
I got a question to ask you guys about those movies. So I also, and then it may be my age, I have a very fond place in my heart for the old claymation movies like Rudolph and Frosty and those. I don't know. Do y'all like those?
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking about that when you mentioned Rudolph. I was sitting there
Mhm.
thinking about like the old claymation things.
And then you mentioned the Christmas Claus. Made me think of two other good ones that's really good. Is the Christmas Chronicles?
Yeah.
With Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
Yeah, those
Wow.
are
There.
Those are really good. Yeah.
I
But
see it on there.
well, now you got to tell us ours. Now you got a lot to pick from since we've thrown out so many.
Oh, I know there. Well, I mean,
Polar Express.
Polar
No,
Express.
I
yeah.
I'm so
That's a
sorry.
good
I
one.
just don't like Polar Express.
It's okay.
It's too long. I get bored.
It's a very long movie.
Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love that movie at all.
Yeah,
I
it
can't
is-
go
It's
without it.
okay. I can watch it, but it's not even in my top 10.
A Christmas Story's up there for sure. Elf as well. Santa Claus movies. Chelsea, she likes the second one the best. I think that's the one where he meets Mrs. Claus. I'm not sure which one's my favorite of the three. I like all of them.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know that I have anything that's outside of what you all have already mentioned. I'm sitting here trying to think.
I feel like there's one that we're missing.
I know. I think there's
I
like
just-
so many. I feel like that's out there. That I would probably
I think the
like.
big revelation is that you don't like Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, it's not even in my 10. I think
This is
I put the
something that's-
claymation above it.
This is gonna be
Yeah.
this is gonna be held over your head for the rest of our lives.
I know.
I
I
just
know.
want you to know that.
I know.
Rusty's sitting over here. He's just like mind blown.
What was that one movie with was it Michael Keaton? It was really sad. I'm not sure. It was a
Oh,
Christmas
Jack
movie.
Frost loves it.
Jack Frost, yeah.
Look-
Breaks you down from the main beginning, man.
From the beginning, like Rusty turns that movie on, and I just immediately like need a box of tissues because I know
Also,
that I'm
yeah,
gonna cry.
The end of it is really what's sad.
Yeah.
Beginning is like, oh man.
I think I vaguely remember that. That's not. Is that?
He's the lead,
Animated?
he's like the lead singer of a band,
I don't remember
and he
that.
he passes away in a car accident.
It's the kid's fault.
And it's no, and
Oh.
then like a year later, the kid plays the harmonica, and
He
like
comes
it, and he
back.
comes back to life as a snowman that his son built in the front yard.
Oh, I have not seen that.
You've
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
watch it.
I don't know if I want to cry.
Listen,
It'll definitely get you.
It's
Yes.
at least watch it once in your life.
Be sad.
It's like Marley. It's like Marley.
Well, I think
Yeah.
I think It's a Wonderful Life will have you crying.
It may do. I've
In a
never even
good
heard
way,
of that
though.
before. I've never even heard of it.
That's a hot take and a half. I never even heard of it.
Just all kinds of hot takes here.
Well, just one
Yeah.
more that I want to mention. In the same way that like Jack Frost will make you cry. So the Christmas shoes. Have you guys seen that one? It's
based off
good.
of the new song.
I
Yes.
haven't heard the song. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's a good one, and it always never fails to make me cry. Also,
And
so
that song too always gets you tears.
yes.
You never heard the song?
I don't think I've heard it.
Oh,
Just,
wow.
It's probably the most popular new song.
Yeah. New
Honestly,
song,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a new song for you. A new song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen
I might
to
have
it.
to check it out.
Yeah,
We'll listen to it on the way home.
Maybe I would say that could be a deep cut for the hidden gem for Christmas, but too many
Yeah.
people know it's just Rusty Dolls.
Yeah. Most people probably know a new song from that song if they haven't.
Oh, that's true. I don't know if I could tell you another new song other than
Few.
Christmas Shoes.
Yeah, few, but not me. Like, there's one that's really upbeat. Can't think of it off the top of my
But you can't think of the name, can
Can't think of the
There you
name.
go.
I am a Christian. That's what it's called.
I'm Christian. Yeah, you do good.
Yeah.
I would
I'm
not
about to
have
start
remembered
singing
that was
to
a
you,
new
but I ain't
song.
gonna
I would
sing
not.
it.
We'll
Yeah.
clip that one out and make it a.
Yeah, great choices, and I'm interested to see, guys. Like, if you listen to the episode, put down in the comments some movies that you like, or maybe one that we didn't mention, or share your thoughts about what we said, and you can feel free to comment on how you agree with me about Christmas Vacation, and we can just move it on. I'll go ahead and talk about my next song, and we don't have many left, and we want to close it up with some discussion and stuff. But my next one is "I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day" by Casting Crowns. I heard that when I was probably in high school. I was huge into Casting Crowns. Casting Crowns is the band that introduced me into Christian music, actually.
Casting Crowns was your gateway drug.
It was, for sure, yes. I'll even tell you the first song, "American Dream." It was like the first song
Really?
that I remember hearing. And I remember the exact place I heard it. I was at my aunt's, and she was showing some of her friends. And I don't know if it was church friends or however it was, but I was just a kid running around the house, and she was showing them this song and had the music video, and that's like a gospel song, because like for me it was always hymnals, like what I'd heard. Nothing wrong with hymnals, but for like a young kid, obviously I gravitated towards the Casting Crowns sound, and in that song in particular was like more like a harder side of Casting Crowns that you didn't always see. But years ago down the road. I think they had like the East to West, the Altar on the Door album, East to West came out. They got really popular. And then they had this Christmas CD come out. And this song was like the hit single off of it. And they ended up, I think, performing it even at the White House that year. But it's a beautiful song. But I remember sitting in church one day, and that song was like in my head. And then I was like going through the hymnals. I think it was in choir practice. When my mom was sitting there, she was, playing piano and stuff. And I saw it in the hymnal. I was like, wait a minute, is this a hymn? And I thought it was like something Casting Crowns made up or whatever. Anyway, I just remember really being in love with that song. But what I didn't know, and me and you talked about it beforehand, that it actually came from a poem, and then that was later adapted into a hymn. Just to share a little bit behind this, because I didn't know all this. And so it was written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. It was in the year 1863. The American Civil War was going on. And this guy went through a lot. Like, it wasn't just the fact that obviously like a lot of death and fighting amongst brothers and family even was going on in the Civil War. But his wife died in a tragic fire during this time. And not only that, but his son, which I think is actually a missing one, but his daughter actually also, I think, passed away. I think I didn't send it on here, but his wife died, his daughter died, and his son joined the Union Army like without his permission, and then got paralyzed. And so it wasn't just the fact that, the war was going on, and that was tragic in and of itself, but personally, he had a lot of stuff going on that I can't imagine even just one of those things happening, how I would feel about that. I can't imagine. And so to have all of that. So on a Christmas day in 1863, he heard the church bells ringing through the streets of Cambridge, Massachusetts, and he sat down and just poured out his feelings in that poem that he wrote, originally called Christmas Bells. And it just kind of talks about some of the words in it. And in despair, I bowed my head. There is no peace on earth, I said, for hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And so I think at that time, going through the loss that he had went through and seeing war going on around him, he probably felt pretty hopeless. And I'm sure even with us personally, there's probably things that we're going through, or maybe not even just us or someone listening. Maybe you went through a loss or going through something tragic, and maybe Christmas isn't as joyful of a time. And sometimes I feel like we think that, you get in that place, you wonder, where's God in this? I don't understand. I'm not seeing him. I'm just struggling, right? And especially in the case of, loss like that. I can't imagine. I love like the bridge and kind of how he finishes up the song in the poem, I guess. It says, then pealed the bells more loud and deep. God is not dead, nor does he sleep. The wrong shall fail, the right prevail, with peace on earth, goodwill to men. And I love that. I just feel like, at times when I think that when you're going through that, like he's still working. Like he's not dead. He's not asleep.
Yep.
Like he's still working. And the fact that he was able to have that moment to where through his tragedy and the loss in his life to still look up and be like, he's not dead. He's still here with me. I think it really speaks to something that we can hear this song and apply it to our own life and the things that we're going through too. It's one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, and I think there's been some other people that have done, but that Casting Crown is like, that's, to me, is like, that's the epitome of that song. Like, it's just awesome. It's a great version of it.
And you have the kids, the choir too, that they're in it. Yeah, and that just, I don't know, that adds another element into it.
Oh, yeah, my song now. So my second song, favorite Christmas song, is The Christmas Song by Nat King Cole. Love that. Could turn that on any time of the year, and just makes me want to like sit with Nia in front of the fireplace looking at the Christmas tree, drinking some hot chocolate. Like, I love that song. I probably sing every every word of it. Like, it's so, I don't want to say nostalgic. It's just we said it was like a warm hug earlier. I was talking about, it's like that, but it just makes you have good thoughts, and it makes you feel good about the world, even though the world's not very good. You know what I mean? Even though times are tough and things is crazy in the world and stuff, man, when you hear that song, it just, I know it's not a Christian song at all. It's not gospel in any bit, but there's a level of peace that it brings to me. Like when I listen to it, it's such a good song. No, you're fine.
What you said, I was sitting there thinking about the busyness of Christmas. You down?
It does. It slows you down, makes you think. It makes me grateful, and to think about it, So, although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas. So I love Christmas. I've never roasted a chestnut in my life. You know what I mean? Yeah. Imagine that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's actually not. They're disgusting.
Yeah, are they pretty nasty?
They're pretty gross.
I want to hear this story.
We have a chestnut tree in our
Okay.
yard. I mean, I've always eaten them. Like, I've eaten chestnuts raw. And then I'm like, that Christmas song says chestnuts roasting on an open fire. So while I did not have a fire going, I roasted them in the oven. And they were just disgusting. And maybe I did something wrong, but there was not a single soul in our house. Not even the dog would eat a roasted
Really?
chestnut.
Well, I don't want to do that then. Was it fun doing it though?
I mean, the skin on the chestnut is so hard, and you have to get a knife and make an X at the end of it so that they pop open. And I mean, I guess it was fun. It was fun for the kids to go out and gather them. They thought that was super fun, finding a whole chestnut that the deers hadn't gotten into yet. So I guess the gathering part of it, that was pretty cool. But as far as I was so excited leading up to it, thinking, oh man, I love chestnuts. These are going to be delicious. And then biting in, and like, I don't spit many food. Like, I like food. I actually spit the chestnuts out. I was like, I cannot eat
What's
these.
the smell? Does it smell pretty good?
No, it
No.
didn't smell good.
You're like,
Did it? Like, it
Did Rusty try it too?
Did you try it?
I remember you made very picky.
Well, that's why I was curious if you tried it.
Yeah, I'm
It was like a,
I don't remember. I think that once all of us, I don't know if you did try it, because once all of us were like, ew, those are gross. You're like, I'm not tasting that. I'm not.
Yeah.
well, it's more a choice if the room
was.
is telling you it's nasty. Wow.
Usually I'm the first person to say, no, I'm not trying that.
Yeah.
And just It's that way.
Yeah, that's my other song. That's my all-time favorite. Probably so.
I like it. Yeah, it definitely, it's one of those, like, you listen to it, it does, like, slow you down, and it does put you, like, mentally in a different place, like a much more calm place than sometimes what Christmas turns into.
Like Jingle All the Way.
Oh, yeah.
The busyness of these, and it's even think about when that movie was done out, and now it's so much worse and busy and stuff. That's a whole other discussion about how busy life has got, how we've think about this, not to get off on this tangent, but seriously, maybe we can have a discussion about it later. All the technology that's supposed to make life so much easier, how much more stressful has it made it?
How much more busy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not, it's not
Doesn't
giving
help.
you all that time where you just kick back, relax, and it's like. No.
Well, I think as humans, like, we're busy people. I think we're designed to work at time, to find that thing we're called to do and to work at it. And so then when you take away some of the work, we're still going to find something. Like, we're not designed to just sit, I feel like.
Well, I agree and I disagree with you on one part, because I think, the Lord gives us Sabbath and calls us to do that, right?
Yeah.
And I think what we did with technology and stuff is we've traded real rest, for leisure.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, my dad and them, just sit on a porch after a long, hard day. Just sit on the porch and rest and stuff, right? And now we got to go do something to feel like we're resting. You know what I mean? Like, we're entertained. We have to be entertained.
Scrolling.
We don't get rest. Yeah, we got to put something in front of our eyes, and it entertains us. So it's leisure. It's not real rest. And I felt like they work a whole lot harder probably manually than we do and stuff. But when they were able to turn the switch off, no matter how short of a time it was, but when they weren't working, it was legit rest. You know what I mean? It wasn't full of something else.
I feel like our phones are it's like a direct connection to everyone else, the world, work. Even if you're even if I have a day off, sometimes if I see Teams notifications on my phones, I'm like, oh gosh, what's going on at work? When I should not be doing that. I feel like our phones is the world's connection to us and keeping us sucked in and maybe trying to pull us away from that Sabbath time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is hard, but in a sense too, it's hard to put it down when it is attached to your work or something like that. Because the world has gotten to where it's so connected in the way of, like, having patience.
Yes.
When y'all were kids, did y'all ever just go with your parents and go visit?
Yes.
Just hop in a car and go visit somebody?
Yeah.
Would you dare do that today? Would you be like, hey, Rusty, let's go visit so-and-so and just show up at their door?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
In that
Yeah,
sense,
that's what you're
that's different.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, and even if you wanted to do that, what would be the response?
Yeah.
They could
Why
be
didn't you tell?
your closest best friends doing here.
Yeah.
It's like,
There is definitely that element into it. And even...
and it would it's such an anxiety if someone showed up at my door,
Oh my
and
gosh.
and then it would like
Right.
lose it because the house is a mess.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was going to say even too, like, taking, like, your kids somewhere, and as I was growing up, there was a certain period of time, because when phones, like, we were kind of in that age that, like, we got the high-speed internet, like, in high school, and, like, the phones and stuff like that, so we got to live both worlds in a way. Like, taking mine now to a place that doesn't have internet service. Even as parents, I'm like, I don't know that.
What are we going
Can
to
do
do?
that.
Yeah, like, and that is a hard thing for me to wrap my head around, because I remember going to places and, like, having to sit down at a table, have a discussion, just with family or whatever. And maybe I didn't enjoy the conversation when I was younger, maybe, but, like, I still had to have it, right? I still, it was still part of, like, growing up, and I think, and where the world's worse for it. Like, sometimes I don't want to put mine in, like, an uncomfortable situation where he might not enjoy talking about the weather or something.
Yeah.
But then in the same way that through all of time up until the last, 20, 30 years, that is how humans have operated, with young people being around older people. Maybe they ain't talking about Fortnite or whatever, but they are picking up on things, and hopefully it's good
That's
things.
what you learn. And now think about this, like, kids and stuff learn from influencers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder why we have so much girls in particular and stuff deal with so much stuff because of what they're seeing. That's really just a facade. The videos and things, it's not reality.
Yeah.
No. And so there's an expectation to live up to a false reality that doesn't exist anyhow. But yeah, I mean, that's what it's taken the place of what you said, the community really is what it was. It was like it's communal and really family oriented, and we've gotten separated from that. Years ago, I felt impressed that what like social media and stuff does is it gives us a sense of connection without the real connection. Because when you have connections with people, you know what that comes with? It comes with some responsibility and comes with some burdens. It comes with, and when you're connected through the apps and through just text messages and things and stuff, you can sound concerned and not really be concerned. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's not a huge burden on you to really put an effort into the relationship part. So it promises connection and relationship, but it's a facade. It's not. Yeah. But that plays into our selfishness and stuff, and it helps, the old fleshly side of it and stuff. So I don't think for a minute, like I said, we can have a deeper, sorry to have hijacked the discussion, the Christmas discussion about this, but I think there's a whole thing to say about how I really feel like the enemy has utilized technology and stuff to really divert from what, and we've allowed it. I'm preaching to the choir here. I see the effects of it in my own life, my own family and stuff, where we've allowed things to really take the place of what should have been, more quality time with real people and, and doing things versus doing things. You know what I mean?
And I think, and I'll actually like segue this into our last song and what we're going to talk about with it, because I think there is a side of it that we can connect. But I had saw a photographer not long ago. I came up on Instagram. I think I followed him on the podcast page. I'll have to go look at like some of my first follows on it. But he was famous for taking pictures of people and cropping out the phone and just like what they looked like, right? And it was actually horrifying, just like people, it was almost like they were, and I'm sure the same way it probably happened to us if they took the phone out of our hands, like the image, and it's just, they're just kind of staring out into this like abyss.
Like they're hypnotized.
Yeah, it's really scary, honestly.
Yeah.
And it was like eye-opening to see that. And so I have to see if I can try to find it and post it. But I had, at that point, it was like right at the beginning of us doing this podcast, and I had thought about that too, that it would be a really good conversation for us to have. Maybe we'll have like a little series about technology in of itself, because we want to do some AI stuff too. So maybe we'll do that like we probably do like a few weeks with it, probably. But as a segue into the last song that we were going to talk about, as much as we're talking about technology and how much we're in fear, right, of it kind of stealing the attention of our young ones, and we worry about maybe what they're picking up, and maybe are they picking up the right things. We had them talk today about a song, and it's something that even amidst all this distraction, this song has resonated with a few of the younger ones, and it's only been out for a few days. Well, at the time of this podcast drop, it'll be a few weeks, but it's Christmas by Forrest Frank. And Forrest Frank's kind of like a polarizing guy to some people. Some people don't. They have like certain opinions of him. But for me, I'm always so appreciative of his music, because it has allowed kids to jump into like the Christian music side of things in a time when I thought that it was, I don't know, I think sometimes we get pessimistic, and I thought, man, with all this, like, you look like Fortnite and the games and music have bridged together to partner, and a lot of these songs that they know are like all like heavy rap songs and stuff like that. Not like more like secular, but when I say secular, they also have like other meanings and other not great messages, right? And so my fear was they're just gonna keep going down that road, but then here comes Forrest in with these songs, and God, I think, is working through Forrest to where this whole generation is like just really been connected to that.
They like him.
They do. They do. And in the same sense, this song, I love it. Like, for me, instantly, it's like kind of been up there, been one of my favorite Christmas songs. And it talks about how it is like it's okay to sing carols, it's okay to do the presents and all that. Don't feel bad for doing that, but let's still make the main thing the main thing. And I think he lyrically does a good job at helping you have reminders, like practices that you can put into place. And the part that really gets me is like when he talks about when you put up lights on the tree, like think about the light of the world that we put on the tree. And I love how a few different things he connects there. One, he connects the lights, obviously, like you're putting up Christmas lights, but think about the light of the world in Jesus. But I like how he didn't just say the light of the world that was put on the tree. He said we put on the tree. And so I think in a moment you can stop and think about your sin and the place that you have been, the things that you have done, and understand that like he died for you. And in a way, like it really breaks you down, even in a moment where you're just thinking about presents and all this stuff. Like when you're putting lights on the tree, take a moment to think about just maybe how lost you was, but how he saved you. And so I love those connections there that he made in that song. The overall theme is like, let's make Christmas, like, let's keep it Christmas. Let's keep it about Jesus, or make it the main thing. But I thought it'd also be a good way to talk about briefly. Yes, we want to keep Christmas about Jesus because that is the main thing. But should we forfeit all the other stuff altogether? Like, is it wrong? Should we not be doing that? And so we'll just bounce it around. And that could go into like the Christmas, like the presents. It could also go into like Santa Claus. And I'll first say this before we go any further. For whatever reason, if kids are watching it past this point, we're going to talk about Santa Claus, so maybe they don't want to hear his part. Yeah, what do y'all think about some of
Well,
it?
kids, this is not about Santa Claus bringing presents. So maybe, let your parents watch it from here
Yes,
and decide
yes,
if you can watch.
yes, yes.
Because on that
Perfect.
note, and I'm going to talk about it now.
Yes.
It's like with our kids, both Noah and Jordan, we obviously there's something appealing to the kid waking up and thinking that, well, it's just a neat story. I don't know why it is what it is, but it is, And so we did the Santa Claus thing, and they would put out the cookies and the milk and stuff. And they get up the next morning and like, oh my gosh, Santa Claus brought me this, whatever it was. And but when they would ask if Santa Claus was real, we always said, well, he was real. And we would tell them about Saint Nick, or the person that it's based upon and stuff. And because we heard something once that really stuck with us and said, if you lie to your kids about Santa Claus, right, something that the enemy can use later and say, well, they're just making up Jesus too. You know what I mean? It's just another story, just like Santa Claus was. And so we were really conscious of that, and I think if you heard Noah when we was talking about things, one of his memories is the elves. He's always loved, we always did those elves and stuff. And first time he was like, are these real or are y'all putting them out? We told him, he was like, we put them out and stuff, But now he, I don't know, we've told him, it was like, it's not your place to tell other kids this. Right. They got their own belief. I said, you believed in Santa Claus for a while, didn't you? And I said, you enjoyed it and stuff. I said, you don't ruin other kids. I was like, that's between, them and their parents. So I don't know if, Ella and Mason or Braxton, them still believe. I know they all kind of talked about the elves and stuff, but Noah would not say, he wouldn't say that he's fake or, or like Santa Claus is not a real person anymore. He still loves, like, we still do the elves things just because he enjoys doing it. And he hides them now and wants us, like, we just take a night and we'll hide them in different places and stuff and come up with ideas for what they did and things. But yeah, as soon as whether you think that's wrong, right, I don't know. I'm telling you personally, for us, we had no conviction over it, no condemnation on doing these things. And so we did that. And when he asked, or Jordan, when they asked questions about the reality of it, we used that as, we told them no, and we used as a discussion point as to why, though.
Wow.
It does bring joy. It's fun, and it emphasizes giving over, but no, Santa, and Christmas has always been about Christ. That's the first thing, it's about celebrating the birth of Jesus, And so, yeah, I don't know how you guys feel about, like, or what people, if y'all ever kind of came against people butting heads about how you do your kids and stuff, but that's our take on it. That's how we've dealt with it. And
everybody has, I have noticed, like, everybody has, this conversation's interesting to me because everybody's had like their own thing that's kind of impressed on them. And I really see a truth in a lot of it because, like, I've talked to someone recently, and they were the way they believe is that no, we're not gonna talk about Santa because they want their kids to know, and I completely sympathize with this, that mom and dad has worked hard for these gifts, right? Like, um, let's appreciate mom and dad working
That's
to
good.
to do this. It's not just some random person out here
Yeah.
Yeah.
bringing you presents. Think for me, our family, well, we've kind of came down on, and it's not, I see, like, I really, maybe the day you ask me might change on, like,
Right.
certain ways I see it. But for right now, I kind of think of, like, we talk about Christmas movies, Santa Claus. Well, I guess he's in all of them, but the therapist, right, in Santa Claus. And he talks about, like, just how unjolly he is, like, how in disbelief he is of anything that is outside of what he perceives as logical, like, reality. And at a very early age of, like, what, 3 or something, like, somebody told him the truth, and his foundation of all of that just, like, broke. And so for me, I'm in that space of, like, I feel like with us, I think there is, like, for our kids, a certain time that I think the conversation is gonna have to be had, but I'm afraid of having it too early because I don't want him to get flooded with the reality of, like, this character is not actually real, and so maybe the only thing that is real is, like, maybe just what I can
What I
see.
can touch.
Yeah, it's like maybe there's not, maybe I need to think more logical
You know that
about
movie?
things.
I love that line. Do you remember what the kid said to him when he was talking about Santa? He said, he goes, "Well," he said, "have you ever seen $1 million?"
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
And he
that's true.
said, "No." He said, "It doesn't mean it don't exist."
Yeah, it
or
doesn't
something like that. It
exist,
might not have
yeah.
been $1 million. It was something like that. And then the guy was like,
Yeah,
kind of stunned
exactly, that's a
that
good
that kid
point.
dropped that logic on him,
Yeah.
and it's like, but that's true.
It is, and I think that's where we fall on it. It's just like, I think the fear is in that is waiting, is like you wait too long and somebody's gonna press it on him that's not you. And so that foundation, like, is gonna break, and then you end up in that territory like you was talking about. He's like, "Oh, well, I've been lied to." And so, and then that's a fear as well. So it's definitely a hard thing to.
Kids are super smart. And like I said, both of my kids, and they come and ask. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it don't take them. They start to figure out, they start to connect the dots and
He's
stuff on
my
things.
oldest one's starting to get to that point of starting to just kind of see it,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So that conversation will probably be like happening like sooner rather than later. But with my youngest one, of course, like, he loves it, and it's still like it's really good tactic to keep him in line.
We've always made it a point for the kids to know that Jesus is at the center of Christmas. And our kids, and like they're a lot like me. I remember being a kid and like thinking that the idea of Santa was really fun, but at the same time, it was like I just knew. And I don't know, I feel like our kids are kind of getting to that point. Like they'll come up to me. We do the elves, we move the elves, we have fun with it. They're pretty mischievous little elves, and it's a lot of pressure, by the way, on
Oh,
parents
yeah.
to
Yeah.
get up and move these elves.
Especially if you don't do it the night before and you wake up, you gotta go to work.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
about that time to go out the door, and you're
Oh, we
like,
completely understand.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. Yeah, ours have been taking an extra nap because they got touched.
Oh, yeah.
But so as far as that goes, kids, like I've always kind of let them lead the conversation. I remember Mason, he came up to us one day. He's like, this kid at school said the Santa wasn't real. Is that true? And I remember being like, well, what do you think? What do you think about it? He's like, well, he said, I think the idea is fun. He was like, but I think that I know that like you and Dad, you guys are the ones that buy presents. And that's something else we've done. My parents never gave me Santa presents, and I never really felt like I was missing out when I was a kid personally. But like something that I do is like they know that all the presents come from us because I don't want them to think that some man up here, like we work hard for the things that we're able to provide them, but they do have a Santa present. And then that's another thing too, going to school and kids being like, well, Santa got me this, 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 and this. And then another kid is like, well, Santa got me, I don't know, a car. And, I would never want another kid to think, that,
Would they, how did I get what they
Yeah.
like it? Yeah.
and I think parents in general, we all need to have a conversation about that. because
That's a great point.
yeah, that's kind of where I've always been at it. But in the moving of the elves, I think that our kids know that it's about Jesus and that it's his birthday, and that's a point that we always make is to make sure that they do know that. But like you guys said, it's fun. You only get that innocence and that magic for a short period of time. So like, why not enjoy it while it's there? The innocence of it is just fun. But what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you hit it pretty spot on. I was just going to piggyback a little bit on what you were saying. You and I had never actually had that conversation about buying a Santa gift for the kids and getting say you get them a PlayStation
Mhm.
and then they go to school and one kid he got a pair of socks. I never really thought about that. I seen a post, I think it was on Facebook, and it really hit me because I had never thought of that. I was like, man, there are kids out there that they don't know what they're going to get for Christmas, and they may be asking for a PlayStation and they get a pair of socks, and I think that is something that parents, we all should look at and be like, you know what, like that's that's something we really should take into consideration.
I saw something along the lines of that too, and it was like, don't let that main Christmas present be from Santa.
Right.
And it wasn't so much from the fact, like what you were saying, to let them know that mom and dad's worked hard for them, but it's more so that it's not going to
Mhm.
slight some other kid and make them feel less than. And what
Right.
did I do wrong that Santa didn't bring me this?
that's
It's
true.
like it's all right to do the Santa and do a gift from him and stuff, but don't let the main gift be from him.
Yeah.
Is what that I think. I mean, it may have been a similar post that you saw
Maybe.
to that extent, but yeah, I agree with you, Mariah, that parents should have more of a
Collective
thought,
conversation.
Yeah.
About this. I think I will say just something funny. Like Rusty said, so the first day, the kids know that the elves come out on December 1st. And for like the first week, that's what we use to get our daughter up out of bed for school. Is the hardest kid to get up in the mornings. But this morning, this week, I was like, Ella, the elves came back today. I wonder what they did. And buddy, she is up and out of that bed.
Yep.
There was one morning though, like day 3, we were already tired on day 3 of moving these elves around. And Rusty comes in there and he goes, babe, I moved the elves. And a few minutes later, Mason got up. He said, I heard that. And I think that Ella's kind of getting to that point too. I don't know if there's I'm sure there's conversations at school about it not being real and stuff like that. But I don't know, just if they want to talk about it, have fun with it, then we'll let them have fun with it,
It's believed at all in our house at all, but Noah loves it, loves to hide it.
Yeah.
And Jordan gets involved too. She hides it from stuff, and it's kind of, I guess, more like a little treasure hunt. Like, where is it at today? Oh, that is so catchy that you did it that way. I guess it's more of like, let's see let's try to hunt it down and see how creative you were. That's kind of like a little game to test wits and
Mhm.
creativity.
I like that. And I was sitting there thinking just ways to even, because, I was thinking about my youngest one and, Anna to him is like as real as anything because he's able to see like that physical, that gift, right? And he knows like he sees that in front of him. And I was sitting there thinking like of maybe like, I don't know how I would do it, but having like a gift and like that's not just like an item, right? But like a gift that opens up and like has some sort of like message about Jesus coming because like as a reminder that he can see, like they can see that, well, the real gift, the main gift every year is for us to recognize that Jesus has came, and that would be. I'm sitting there thinking like maybe that'd be a cool tradition to start to know like that's my talent gift and have it open up and be like have that moment every Christmas morning that we still give like some time to him, and it's not just like toys here, clothes here, the clothes get thrown to the side, you know how that goes. But
Yeah.
but I was sitting there thinking like maybe like a way to kind of bridge that in. And there's like plenty of things that people do, traditions and stuff that I think are all good and healthy. And I think one thing that God emphasizes is a family, a strong family, right? And I think things that we do with our kids, whether it be the elves, whether it be puzzle nights or board game nights, stuff like that, like Noah's mentioning, and Braxton mentioned getting ornaments, like those things, are just things that they remember, but it's like signs of like a good like family like foundation, I feel like. And I think you can see through like history and like the statistics and stuff that kids come out of that being in a lot better situation than kids that don't have it. I feel like, and I think that's one thing. I think that's why God emphasizes like having that family structure so much. So I just think it's cool being able to like bounce things around with everybody.
You said something when you saw that has a good family. Backtracking here to the movies.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it was it me and you and Chelsea was talking about, is it the greatest Christmas Carol ever?
Yeah, we were talking about.
You're
Is
the
it
one that did,
like
Chelsea.
it? Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
really good one that drives home,
Yeah.
and that's a good. I wouldn't say biblical, but it's definitely about Jesus, and it's about relaying the worth of people, and what they are to Him. So if you all haven't seen that movie, I would highly recommend going to that.
It's new. It just came out
A
last
couple years
year. I think.
ago. Was it
That
2
was
years?
last year.
Was it last year?
Might have been 2 years.
Either last
Yeah.
year or the year before.
Yeah.
It's not, but it's a really good one. And it kind of deals with that, with kids that don't come from the picture perfect family setting. It's really good. It's great vantage points. I think it's worthwhile everybody seeing, and it just really helps shape your perspective on some things.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think even just like hearing the kids talk today and us having this discussion, kind of just puts you in a mindset of just being thankful to have what we have, and like what you're saying, even like keep in mind through this like season that it's not always easy for everybody. It's not always easy for some of the kids, but like moments like what we're talking about, things like whether it be Santa or something like that, that's maybe like a small bit of joy that those kids hang on to. They may only get very few times a year, certain ones. And so I think in a way, like I said, I like to acknowledge a moment of just being thankful, but also in a way to maybe that's something we can all, and I'm sure we all try to keep in mind, to keep in our prayers for those kids too during this season. Guys, I had a great time in this discussion.
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
I think it's been great. The week of Christmas, there's gonna be going on dinners, family get-togethers, stuff like that. While you're traveling, which I'm assuming if you're at the end of this, then you have done this. You've listened to it, but we like the fact that you've stuck with us and listen to this episode this week. Maybe it'll help. I know it's helped us just talking about it, just getting like a good mindset for Christmas and making the songs and making the main thing, but also some things that we've just done as a family that we can all just build off of each other and share traditions and maybe grow new ones, appreciate the ones we had. There's a lot to it. And it does get kind of fast paced. Sometimes we need that song, like Shawn's talking about, like a warm hug to where we can sit down and just stop and think sometimes. But we're going into a new year, and I don't know as far as New Year's what we have planned for that. But if this is our last thing before the new year starts, it's been a great 2025 so far for the pod, and just in general for life. But I'm excited to go from here, and we're excited to hear, guys, just some things that maybe you're doing this year for Christmas, some songs, some traditions, maybe some meals that y'all have for Christmas. Maybe you have something special. To share that with us in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. It's always I think it's a nice reminder people do listen, Sometimes it's not just us, talking to ourselves. We enjoy seeing y'all's comments and stuff. But I guess that's it. Anything y'all have before we close up?
No.
Yeah. Well, thank you for tuning in during this Christmas week. Share this with someone that you think might need to hear it. Maybe he's having a down Christmas season, and maybe our discussion and some of these songs might end up uplifting them. But to close it out, we're going to have something special, and we're going to have Shawn and Justin kind of exit out the episode with a little song.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by choir and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows some turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. So I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1